and welcome to another great episode of AuntDi's Crafts. Today we are going to do a reverse canvas. I'm going to show you what you need and how to prep the canvas, and then we'll go from there. It might be a two-parter, depends, we'll see. But first of all, what you're going to need is just run to the dollar store, or the Dollar Tree, spend $1.25 and get yourself just whatever size canvas you need. Okay, that's what you're going to need. And for the first step, you could sit, and if you have a staple puller, you could use that. I love just using my little X-Acto. This X-Acto is so cool. It fits on your finger, and then you can use it. And then you can use it, and it's wonderful. So let me just set up my camera so that you can see what I do, and we'll get this reverse canvas going. Thank you. Okay, so here's the canvas. I'm going to pop the plastic off of it. Let me just rip it there a little bit. I'm going to lay the plastic back down because my table's a little dirty, and I don't want this getting too dirty. I should have maybe brought a towel out, but that's okay. I'll just lay that down over that. There we go. Okay, so what you need to do is just get an X-Acto knife, very simple, and run it along your canvas, keeping it so that it's on the outside, I guess, but I guess to the right of the staples. So just push it in, run it down. A lot faster than cutting or pulling out the staples. A lot faster. So just run it so it's right by all your staples, but leaving the staples behind because you don't want that. And you don't need all that canvas anyway, so you're not going to lose or miss not having that little bit, so that is perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm just going to match this up without taking my finger off and see how we've done. See if it's cut all off. Yeah, there's a little piece right there. This corner needs a little bit more pressure. There we go. And there we go. There's going to be your frame. Simple as that. That part is your frame. This part will now end up going inside your frame. So I want to give this frame a quick sanding, so I'm going to go grab my sander, and then we're going to stain it and start working on the canvas. Okay, so I've sanded the opposite side. I'm just going to pull the rest of this canvas off. I'm not removing the staples, simply because they won't be seen. They'll be against the wall. So all I'm going to do right now is I've sanded the board, and now I'm just going, let me get rid of that. I'll get the scissors out for that. So what I've got is I've got an old cloth, and I've got my stain. I'm just going to give it a good shake. Trusty knife to open it because I can't find my can opener. I'm running out of this color. So I've already, like I said, sanded it. I'm just going to give it a quick white. I should have put a cloth underneath like usual. And just dip a cloth or whatever into the stain and rub it on. And just rub it on. so you can get it how you want it. Okay, so I've stained that part. Don't forget to stain the inside.
Or you bought it somewhere?
This is a canvas I took apart.
Oh, nice.
A painting canvas.
Yeah.
You cut the canvas off and it becomes a frame.
That's sweet.
And then I can apply the canvas the opposite way after I've done what I want. Amber wants some signs for her bathroom.
Oh, cool.
So, of course, I'm taking the opportunity to do a learning video when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just what you find on the inside of a canvas frame.
You don't even have to edit me out. I don't care.
Oh, I will, because I won't have this conversation.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll let you be.
But that's all. I might add that part in because it's explaining exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what it is, and I've just X-Acto knifed with my wonderful X-Acto knife the canvas off, because I'm not going to sit there and pull all those nails.
Looks good though.
So yeah, sometimes you luck out and you get a nice piece of wood. Other times it's pretty crappy. So it's just sort of a hit and miss. So now we just have to let that dry. I've got a couple more canvases I got to prep, and then we can move on to finishing putting this. Quickly show you. This is one of the sayings that I am going to be doing on our reversed frame or a reverse canvas. This is how I size it to make sure it is the correct size. I go in to get a shape, get a square, because that's what it's going to be. And this square, which is hiding up here and over here, because I have this way over, so I'm going to move this back over here more, just so I can see everything. There we go. So this square, I'm going to size it. And because I don't want it square anymore, I want it a rectangle, I have to unlock. I can either unlock up here the lock, or I can do it here. Okay? Up here, I am going to have this. Let's go. No, I want to do, sorry, I want to go 8 wide, 10 high, I think. Oh, not 0.1. No, I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to go 10 wide, 8 high. And then I'm going to lock it. That is my maximum size that I can do. I'm just going to put it in a different color so I can see it better. And I am going to put it in the back. So now I can move my saying over that square, and it makes it so I can size it to where I'd like it. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to align it in the center. And I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe just a tiny bit bigger. Select all, align again. And I think that's the size we're going to do. Now remember to either delete this square or hide it, okay? Because you don't want to cut the square.
Now, since this is HTV, or I'm doing an iron-on, you have two choices. You can either select all and flip it horizontally here, like that, or you can wait until you go into Make It, depending. See, I don't have it set right. Uh-oh, can't do that. I forgot a step. I need to select everything, and I want to attach it. Now when I go to Make It, it will be in the correct, very correct. Now you need to click on each one of your mats, depending on how many mats you have, and click the mirror button. So you have two options, and as you go on, it will, it's not going to connect to my machine right now because my machine's not on, but it will also remind you to use the mirror. So hopefully that helps with getting your sizing.
Okay, so I've cut out my image. I'm just going to give it a quick read. That's the one good thing about this, about HTV. It is so simple. Simple, simple, simple to read. So I'm just going to quickly weed it here by pulling off, which means you're pulling away the vinyl that you do not want. For those that do not know what weeding means. And I don't want these middles, so I'm going to, with my weeding tool, I'm just going to pop them out of here. Make sure you get no little bits and pieces left behind, because if you do, you'll iron those on where you don't want those. And I think that was it for this one. So that was it. And there's my mirrored image. It says, wash your hands, you filthy animal. And we're going to now get up and go over here to where I have my iron, because like I said, I just use an iron, and I've got my iron all set up. I've got my canvas right there, and now my saying. So I like to keep the frame on for a moment, so I can visualize where I want it. To be placed. And I think that's good. My iron is heating up, and I totally forgot to grab parchment paper, so I'm going to go do that. Okay, parchment paper. Remember, parchment paper, not wax paper. So, like I said, got my iron on. Oh, no, I don't. I turned it off. So it'll only take a second to heat up. I've got my image pretty much, I think, in a good position so it can get framed nicely. I think that gives me lots of room for when we have to attach the frame to the canvas. So that's where that's going to stay right there. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Since I'm outside and I'm on my glass table, I've got a board underneath, which is actually a sign I just finished making for my brother and brother-in-law. I just put a towel on top. Got my canvas. I've got my applique. I've got my parchment paper. I'm just going to lay the parchment paper down. Get my iron, which the steam is turned off. You don't want steam. And just do as you normally would when you place your vinyl, your heat transfer vinyl onto a product or a material. So I just very carefully try not to move it because you don't want it smudging, because it sort of does that, I guess you'd call it. So I just put the iron around it and hold it for a few moments in different spots. I don't use a lot of pressure. As you can tell, I'm barely even holding it. So no need to stand on it, no need to push, no need to, you do have to use a little bit of pressure just to push down a bit, just pretty much a little bit more than when you're ironing out a really wrinkly shirt, I guess. And then I'm just going to keep going over it. Some vinyl does better if you cold peel it. Other vinyl, you can get away with warm peeling it. So let me see. Pretty much. Oh, it's come right off. So that was easy peasy. It's coming right off the backing sheet on its own. Very simple. But I want it down a bit better than it is. So I'm going to go put my parchment paper back over it and go over it again for a few moments. My grandson is actually sitting very quietly and patiently behind the tablet. He's my turn on and off button guide today. So if he'd like to put his head around and say hi, you're welcome to, Owen, because people haven't seen you in a while. So he's got a PA day today. Countdown to summer holidays. So I'm just going over it a little bit more. Like I said, not a lot of pressure. And now I'm going to take a look and see what I think about how it is attached. And it looks pretty good. I know the rule of thumb is to iron it until you can see the fibrous pattern of the material below. Yes and no. That does work for some material. Other things you don't get to come through quite so well on, or doesn't go through quite so well on your iron-on. So like this is adhesed extremely well. It's not going anywhere, and I don't know if you can see any marks or that, but that's on there good. Very good. Okay, so that's that part. Oh, I wanted to quickly show you this sign that I did up for my brothers, because it's actually pretty funny. I did this up, came up with the idea. I was going to do it for our trailer, but we sold our trailer. So I don't know how well you can see that. It says, "Welcome to our campsite. It's all fun and games until someone loses a wiener." I thought it was just hilarious. But now, our next step is going to be to get a staple gun. Must have, so I'm going to have to go hunt mine down. And then we're going to staple the canvas back on. So, I have my staple gun. This is the part I don't like, because it's very important that you line this up perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then you got to flip it around. So let's flip her around, and hopefully it doesn't move any. And I think we did it. So that's exactly where I want that. Got my staple gun. I'm going to Oops, no, I just moved it. See what I mean? It's so simple to do that. Okay. I'm going to flip it over. Oh, I hope that's right. Unlock my staple gun. Put it in place. Now, I typically don't have the strength to get the staple in all the way. So normally I get my husband to do this. But I'm still going to do it. And if they don't go in all the way, I can hammer them down. So I'm going to just staple that in. Oh, it went in for me. And I'm going to automatically go right across to the other side. I'm going to double check that's in there, that this is going to be pretty straight. I'm going to go over to the other side, feel for the frame. And stick a staple in. Then I'm going to go to the top. Give it a little tug if you need to. Staple. And one in the bottom, giving it a bit of a tug. And now we just go around. I like to do the corners next. Two corners. Three corners. One more corner to go. And now I'm going to put a couple staples in between. You do want to staple it pretty well so you don't get buckling and whatnot in it. So I go through probably about 4 in between just to make me feel better. 3 this one's going to take. I try to make sure when I do put my staples in that I'm going to have room to run my X-Acto knife down to get rid of the excess canvas that we now don't need. My husband must have put in better staples because I've never had this much luck getting them in to stay in. They usually stick out halfway for me. So I know I've stapled it extremely well, probably better than it was when it was bought from the store. No, not when I think. No. This is actually my staple gun. It was a Christmas gift many, many years ago from my parents. They asked me what I wanted for Christmas one year, and I told them seriously, straight up, I wanted a staple gun. Because at that time, I don't even know why I wanted it. So anyway, so there's our sign. I'm just going to go cut off the rest of the canvas. So now you're going to feel, or when you cut, you want to make sure that you're not cutting too close to the inside and too far out. So try to stay, I'd say as close to the middle as you can. Oh, there we go. Like you want to, we're just going to cut the excess canvas. Oops. Go over. Yeah, I'm not sure. The excess canvas off. And once you do, you will have quite a nice framed saying for whichever area you wanted it for. So let me just get this side done. and we will be able to see, oops, our finished product. If that one slipped, I'm going to have to get the staple gun out and just cover that. Now match up my cuts. Did I not cut this side? I thought I did. Looks like I'm going to be needing a new blade soon. There we go. There, it's coming off. Grab a different X-Acto knife next time. I love this one, but like I said, I think the blade's dulling out on me. Okay. Oh, I just got a sliver in my foot. This last piece. Match up that one. This also gives you a bit better idea if you think there's some places you're going to need to restaple. Like that one that I cut short, and there's a couple of other spots that I just felt I wanted to give a bit more help to. Sometimes it's because you cut just a little too close. Oops, ran out of staples again. Yeah, we're out. So we're done. So here is our finished frame. Beautiful. Love it. My daughter's going to love these series that she's picked out for her bathroom. I think they're going to look really good. So I'll come back down so you can see me. But I do hope that you've enjoyed this and that it helps you when you want to go ahead and make your reverse canvas. Just follow the simple steps and you too can have a beautiful piece of, I guess, artwork to hang somewhere in your house. So please, 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 I keep showing more than I want to show. Okay, please, okay guys? I am so trying my best to get this channel up and running. I have so many ideas in my head running around that I plan to share with you. I need to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, okay, below, and also like my videos. If you shop at Cricut or Happy Crafters Canada, below you will find my affiliated links, which I do receive a very small commission. Some things as low as like 3%, 2%. So that would, I just had a brain fart. So that would be a huge help, and it's at no cost to you. When you do help, it is the company giving me a little thank you for getting us customers. But anyways guys, enjoy the beautiful weather. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for many more awesome videos. We've got to get working some more on the giant flowers and possibly Oh, goodness gracious, I have no idea. Anyways, guys, happy crafting. Have a wonderful day.